Today, we are going to be discussing the remarkable story of Manitowoc's Northside High School. In reviewing the wonderful pictures of this incredible structure, I have often wondered if buildings such as these have feelings. They certainly do have a birth, as each brick is mortared in place and a roof placed on their top and their rooms finished off to the desired specifications. They have a lifespan. For some, it might be 20 years, while for others, such as the Northside High School, it might be as much as 100 years. During their life, do they have memories? Memories of hundreds upon hundreds of children and young adults that walked their halls and studied in their many classrooms? Do they feel pain when their roof begins to sag and then leak? And then they have an ending when the community feels the cost of restoring their many structural problems is no longer feasible and they are scheduled for dismantling. What do they feel as each brick is removed from their once proud structure? I will let you decide after hearing the fascinating story of this once honored institution of learning. Over its almost 100-year history, it was known by many names: Park School, Madison School, the Second Ward School, Lutheran School, but most Manitowoc residents knew it as the Northside High School. Its history goes back long before the high school was constructed on the grounds. The land, which included Union Park, was donated in 1837 by Benjamin Jones, considered to be the father of Manitowoc. The first school, a little frame schoolhouse, was constructed on the lower level of Union Park in 1844. By 1849, the little school was becoming overcrowded, and a second building was added at a cost of $350. This second structure was a two-story frame building, 30 feet by 50 feet. It had two front entrances with many narrow, high windows on each side. Two large outdoor toilet buildings were located between the two school buildings. These two frame buildings would serve as Manitowoc Northside School until 1873. The two buildings were then auctioned off. The first building was purchased by the First Lutheran Church and moved to their property at North A Street and State Street. The second building, the two-story structure, was purchased by an unknown party and moved into the downtown area. The cornerstone for the new Northside School was laid in August 1872, with the building complete by 1873 at a cost of $30,000. The building, which was constructed completely of brick, was 3 stories tall with a complete full basement. It was ready for service for the September 1873 school year. The building itself was 85 feet long by 67 feet wide. The classrooms had an average height of 14 and a half feet, which was pretty much standard for schools of that time. It also had a very tall bell tower with bell that can clearly be seen on its many photos. Although it was a new and impressive structure, it still did not have what we would expect to see in a modern building today. The building had no electricity, which required the use of kerosene lamps. It had no running water, and the only water available to the students and teachers was from an outside water pump. The building had no plumbing, which required the students and staff to use an outdoor outhouse both fall, winter, and spring. Our hope was that the water pump was not located too close to the outhouse. For many years, the boys and girls had separate play areas. The boys would play in Union Park, with the girls taking over the playground area at the school. And at one time, there was a winter sled area going down the steep hill off of Union Park and into the school grounds. Over the years, improvements were made to the grounds with grass and trees planted, and at one time a very nice wooden fence surrounded the school. These would be removed in the 1900s to make room for additional playground equipment. Also, by 1900, indoor plumbing had been installed in the school to the relief of both staff and students. In 1902, an electric fire alarm system was installed in the school. From 1873 until 1879, the new school was used only as a grade school, grades 1 through 8. It was not until 1879 that a state approved high school course was begun. The first high school graduation was held in the spring of 1881. For lack of room in the school, the graduation exercise was held in the Opera House just 1 block away. Graduation exercises were also held in Union Park when weather permitted. The average salary for teachers in the 1880 was $106.20 a month for men and $35.93 per month for women. In 1904, the school established sports programs for the older boys, such as football, basketball, and track. There were also a number of programs in which the girls could participate. The Northside School functioned as any normal school of its day, except for the fact that all 12 grades were crammed into one school building. By 1892, crowding at the Northside School had become a problem. To help relieve the overcrowding, a new grade school, Ludding School, later called McKinley School, was built at the corner of North 10th Street and Huron Street. But something else needed to be done to separate the grade school from the high school. This would not be done for another 30 years. Then in 1923, the city of Manitowoc built Lincoln High School on the city's south side. High school students from the Northside School and Central High School on the city's south side were moved to the new Lincoln High School. It was at this time that the Northside School was renamed Madison School with students from 1st to 9th grade. The next major change occurred in 1931 when the city began construction of Wilson Junior High School on Manitowoc's north side. When completed, 7th, 8th, and 9th graders were moved to Wilson Junior High, and Madison School was left with students in the 1st through 6th grade. The Northside School, now Madison School, would remain a grade school until 1956 when the city built a new Madison School at North 4th and Huron Street. The new Madison School opened on March 12, 1956. This move left the North Side School empty and pretty much uncared for. It would remain so for only a short period of time, as the Wels Lutherans in the area were looking for a location to open a Wels Lutheran high school. The city offered the Lutherans a deal they couldn't pass up. So that same year, the Lutherans took over the Northside School as their high school. They would continue to use the building as so for the next 11 years. In 1967, the Wels Lutherans built a brand new high school on the far north side of Manitowoc. Once again, this left the North Side School empty. That same year, the city decided to take it down. By the following year, 1968, the building was no more. It was a sad day for many who had once attended one of the first Manitowoc schools. This time, the bricks were not taken down one at a time like when put in place. This time, the wrecking ball did the job in short order. In its place, the city decided to put a tennis court. This too lasted only a short time, as the concrete began to crack and there was seldom a net in place to hit the ball over. The tennis courts too disappeared within a few years. The area where the Northside High School once sat has now been reclaimed as part of Union Park. Just a side note, 2 years ago, some work was done in the area where the school was once located. I was amazed to see that as they dug, they came across some of the original footings and basement of the 1873 school. This too was removed before they completed their work. There is now nothing left to make the location of one of Manitowoc's first schools recognizable. A sad ending for a once proud and splendid building. Thank you for taking the time to view my latest Manitowoc history review. Consider, if you will, in watching some of my other videos on this channel. Thank you again.